welcome to another segment of Fab Life. Welcome, fabulous girls and boys. I'm so excited tonight because I have with me Bettina
Steinhauer. Hi.
Steinhauer. Beautiful
How are you
last
all?
name.
How's everybody
Say
tonight?
hello to Fab Life, the Fab Life
Hey.
viewers.
How's everybody? Hope you're all
They're
enjoying
all,
your holidays.
gorgeous and
We're
fabulous.
in the middle of the holiday season. That's why we're wearing the red.
Yes, we're wearing the red, and I'm wearing something festive.
He's got his
right
partridge
here.
in the pear tree.
Yes, absolutely. But before I go on with this fabulous interview with my good friend Bettina, I would like to say, we give our condolences to the Bush family. May George Bush Senior, may you rest in peace. And
he was a beautiful man. He was actually a great person.
Yes.
In every way.
And I want to say he is, because he will continue to live in our hearts and in our memories. Yeah. And also a funny side of George Bush Senior is that he hated broccoli. And he hated broccoli.
Do you also hate broccoli?
No, I don't hate broccoli, but he hated broccoli, and he did not conceal it at all. Like he said it, like in media.
He didn't have it the way I make it, with all the garlic and the soy sauce. I make it the Asian way. It's much better. He just didn't come over to our house.
He just did come over to Bettina's house.
I know.
And also one more thing, which I should have done many weeks ago, RIP to Stan Lee, because I'm such a huge comic book fan. He was the creator of all the Marvel comics, and he made
Stanley. Best of the best
cameos in every single Marvel movie out there. So RIP out there.
American icon.
Yes, he's an American icon.
Very sad. We'll never
international icon. Yeah.
We'll never ever have the same feelings toward somebody as we do him, because
you know what he said?
Comics.
You know what he said? Don't discriminate on anyone, because that guy in the corner could be your brother, and that other woman right there could be your sister.
And we all have superhero skills and superhero qualities in us.
Yes.
And you never know.
And you never know.
Might be the person who saves you.
Yes.
Is your hero. You never know. He's a humble person.
Yeah. So,
and he made Deadpool, which
she put a clock in there, and I can't see it.
Oh, it says 8:40.
I can't see it.
8:38.
Okay, let me move it over here so I'll be able to see it, Maria.
But, who is your favorite? Do you want to talk about his stuff? Do you like superheroes?
That's why I said RIP to Stan Lee, because I'm obsessed, and I'm looking forward.
Deadpool. Love Deadpool.
I like Thor.
Oh, you do?
I like Thor. I like
You like the blonde hair?
Iron.
Is that the blonde hair you go
for? I like Iron Man. I like
Iron
all
Man
of them.
and
I love all of them, but
Wolverine. He's my favorite.
He wasn't part of the Avengers. He's not part of the Avengers.
But,
so anyhow,
Iron Man was the best. He was my favorite until Deadpool.
Nice,
Deadpool's just funny. That's all.
All right, since the time is ticking, I would like to talk about Bettina. Yay, Bettina. Oh my gosh, I've only spoken to her on the phone and through text messages.
And I sent you a picture of myself right away so you could see my face.
Yes, I know, and it's like I found my soulmate. We could go on a slumber party together and just talk all night.
I think you're right.
And just probably have a pot of coffee. And we'll get
I stopped drinking coffee a year ago, though, unfortunately. But I like cocoa. I drink a lot of cocoa.
Oh, then we'll drink cocoa then.
Coco Chanel.
Coco, oh yes, Coco Gabrielle Chanel, Coco.
Very Gucci.
Yes, very Gucci. So now I would like to talk about your design background.
I think I started out when I was a little kid. I love anything to do with art and fashion, and surrounding yourself with beautiful things is a premise of mine. My family, my great-grandfather was an artist, and grandfather and father, and I guess I'm the one from my generation, so who went into the creative craft careers. And my great-grandfather made $1 million in the 40s as an artist, which was hard, and nobody made $1 million in the 40s. It was the Depression. But as an artist, He designed like statues, and there are 150 monuments in town squares all the way across the East Coast of my grandfather's statues, like the man on a horse and the war memorial statues. 150. I still have to go see them. I want to go do a tour back east and see them all.
Wonderful.
But he was special, and I mean, for lack of a better expression, he was very good at designing tombstones for the rich and famous.
Ooh,
because they had the mausoleums with the angels and the beautiful, you know, women and things. And beautiful roses and things all carved in marble.
Well, I guess during the Depression, he wasn't depressed after all. Because he was laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, he had the mustache and the hats. And they'd go on trips. They traveled the world. They enjoyed their money, and they really, really became world travelers. And I think I have a love for art because of him, really. Wow, he brought it into the family, and he really was a very good artist. And we have a lot of his paintings and sketches, and you know, but they used to love to, you know, wear fashion. They were so fashionable.
Oh, I love it.
They would buy a whole new wardrobe to go on a trip.
Wow,
you know?
wow.
Like I do that too. Don't you kind of?
Amazing,
I do that. I mean, I always want to look good. I'm going on a trip. You end up adding a new outfit or something, and it's true, you know. But those days, they were really like the skirts were to the floor. The women had the corsets, and the Gibson girl, you know, with the bun, and the guys had the hat and the nice mustache, and it was all waxed up, and they looked sharp. They were tough. You could tell they were like savoir-faire.
Oh,
you know, they had a lot of style. Yeah, I love these old pictures of my grandfather. And the colors, like brown outfit and the three-piece suit. You know, and the collars were really high.
Did you go to fashion school?
I did. I went to the FIDM.
Oh, nice.
And I remember when I was a little kid, I always knew I was going to be a fashion designer. Yes. Even it was kind of when I was something like first grade, you know, when you're doing that turkey with the hand and you're making your little turkey and you have to cut it out with those stupid the bad scissors, you know, the child-proof scissors. And I remember cutting it, and I was doing a kind of a sloppy job, and I stopped myself and I said, you better do a better job.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember saying that to myself.
Nice. Did you enjoy?
Because if you want to be a designer, you got to do it perfect.
Absolutely.
And there's no such thing as perfect, I believe, but you have to try to go as close as you can to perfect.
Try again.
And especially in the portrait areas, everything has to be perfect.
Everything has to be. You know? Now, my other question is, did you enjoy FIDM?
I did. Oh my God. I grew up in a small town, Northern California, in the grape and wine country. And so when I went away to school at San Francisco, it was only an hour and a half away, but it was like a new world, you know, breaking out. And I remember one year I was the Farrah Fawcett hairdo with the big.
Oh, I love it.
I was the varsity cheerleader. Yeah. I was like, you know, I was one of those shy people, but I was a, you know, big varsity cheerleader. Yeah. And I had the Farrah Fawcett hair with the highlight. And then a year later, I came home they didn't recognize me. I had your haircut.
Oh,
and
my
it was
gosh.
bleach blonde. I had his haircut, bleach blonde, Lana Turner, like all on one side,
beautiful.
And then really short on the other and shaved up. Oh my God, I had the best haircuts because I was a hair model.
Nice.
A guy met me in the street, and his dad owned the Hairport in San Francisco. They had a lot, like 5 hair salons or something, and this guy, JR, he said, "Can I cut your hair?" That was when I had the big hair. And it was 80s, you know, big hair.
Big hair, and, big shoulder pads.
70s, actually, but it was the beginning of the 80s. Yeah, big shoulder pads. Oh, I had shoulder pads
I had
everything.
Shoulder pads.
I would stick them in. If they didn't have a shoulder pad, I'd stick it in there.
That's why I love Thierry Mugler and Claude Montana back in the 80s.
I saw, you know what you said about that. And I love Terry Mugler, too.
Yeah,
I used to love the jumpsuits. Yeah. You know, and the jackets.
So now my other question is, you work for other manufacturers, too?
Yes, I worked my way up in the garment industry for 20 years. All my 20s and 30s, I kind of grew up in it. I feel like I was a kid, you know, and it seemed like in my opinion, I don't know if it's true, but 70% of the people, maybe not quite that high, were from New York that gravitated to Los Angeles. We had to have, our first year was in San Francisco, our second year was in Los Angeles. Yes. So they required it, and they didn't require it anymore after a few years after, but I was glad that I had moved. Because I didn't know anybody in LA, no family, no friends, nobody, except a couple of students that I'd started with in the other city. But we all worked our way up, and it was true. We got our experience quite quickly. They said we would, and we did. There were always jobs.
Oh my goodness.
You could always open the paper and get a job in one day flat, probably.
Fabulous.
It was pretty exciting.
I love it.
The roaring 80s, and I was saying it was a lot of transplant New Yorkers at that time. They didn't want to be in the cold New York anymore. You know how the garment industry started in New York. And they were coming to LA. About the time I was there. So I had a lot of bosses who were Jewish and Israeli and Persian and Korean. I had every nationality in the world. I learned how to negotiate in every language. Every style of personality. It was fun being an observer, a kid, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, watching these guys, these bosses of mine, how they negotiate so differently in their style. We should have a whole show about that.
I love it.
Because I can tell you how they are.
Let me just tell my televiewers what they're seeing right now. In case you guys are wondering what I have here, this was created by Bettina.
It's a bustle.
Explain to us.
It's actually not a...
and my pocket square.
His pocket square is awesome. That should stay. But you know what? This bustle was for a gown I did, and is not usually like in his lap like an animal.
Oh
it looks
my
like
gosh.
He's got, these were collected from my macaw parrot. She dropped them, and I didn't pluck them, I promise. She dropped, when they clean the cage, there's always a feather or two.
Nice.
And over a year and a half or something, this was all the feathers I collected.
All the feathers?
I mean, they drop a lot of their feathers, and so
I think we're going on a commercial break right now, so... You guys don't go away, and you'll be back for another fabulous segment with my guest, Bettina. Don't go away.
Bye.